Hello, hello. Let's get me on the camera. Hello, hello. Here we are in the other room. As the title indicates, we're finishing Optimus today, however long that takes. I want to get him done. His box has been over here, taking up this chair, and I'd like to get him behind me, standing on the shelf, where there's currently nothing. He's got a space reserved for him. He needs to sit in there. Shining Spear. You're first. Officially. Welcome in. And you subscribed. Amazing. Thank you so much. You are officially first. Oh, God. I wonder if I can set a redemption that's only available once a month so I can have a monthly first. That might be fun. Mad scramble to see who can be first. I have myself a quick Western omelet. I didn't put any cheese in it, but other than that, it's quick Western omelet with a topping of a drizzle of Kewpie, a drizzle of balsamic glaze, and a drizzle of Frank's Red Hot to grab a condiment from 3 different continents. We didn't do a cook today. This took 10 minutes total. It wouldn't even have been worth it to go in there and then move all the camera stuff in here. So what I need is some really long USB extenders. Then I can just switch cameras and have the PC stay in one room. But those are not the cheapest in the world, so we're not going to do that yet. Maybe down the road. Maybe when I become the next Markiplier. So I'll be nibbling on this as we go. Oh my God. A tiny fly drowned itself in my water glass. I guess I'm going to go get a new water glass. BRB. Anyways, I'll be nibbling on this as I am building, but our goal today is to finish off Optimus. As I mentioned yesterday, we're adding a couple extra streams this week because I'm trying to get to a threshold in Twitch's numbers game. Because we unlocked some, we unlocked an emote slot, and I am really close to automatic approvals. So I'm going to try to get automatic approvals so that I can just slot those new emotes in without having to wait 3 to 5 business weeks. Let's see. Let's find our place. I didn't bookmark us. Let's find our place. We just put the fuel tanks on last time, which I believe was the end of bag 6. Yeah, there they are. Okay, so we're starting bag 7 today. And Optimus himself is going to set to the side. We add things to him. He stands on his own now. He's got his feet. That's what we finished up last time, was the feet and the fuel tanks. So he can stand on his own. This has been a fun project, and if Legos weren't so darned expensive, I would love to do more of these. Legos may have to be a goal rather than a regular thing, unless we just do real cheapo ones. I hear that this year there's a new line of Jurassic Park sets coming out in the lower price range, smaller sets, not big, huge, elaborate ones like this. So we may keep an eye out for those, because I do love me some Jurassic Park. Okay, I'm not sure. Oh, I do see what we're building. We're building his grill, his the intake on his engine block. Which is good because at the moment his torso kind of spins freely because there's nothing bracing the pivot. But I think it's going to connect from his the clips just below his windows there down to this part of his hip structure. Am I slightly out of focus? Is this camera slightly out of focus? It looks slightly out of focus to me. Tell you what we should do first before we try raising money for Legos is raise money to replace this camera. This camera is... I got what I paid for, and I paid for $5. It looks a little sharper. That looks a little sharper. Chemical! Welcome in. I was just noticing that my camera, my cheapest camera in the world, that I have to keep locking the focus on because it wants to autofocus like here in the middle distance. I was a little bit out of focus. We're just getting started. I just opened the bag and I've got a delicious brunch here on the side. An omelet with with a topping from every continent except 4 of them. And I put a grand total of 3 pieces together so far. But welcome in. We're just discussing. Was just discussing how expensive Legos are, and I'd love to do more of them, but I'm afraid I might have to raise funds. I got the camera from Goodwill. When I looked it up, it's a $50 camera, and they dumped it at Goodwill. I thought it was a great deal, and it turns out they probably dumped it because this one is defective. I can't imagine the entire line of them is quite this bad, but this one clearly has some problems. I just have to not let it do its own thing and lock it down, do everything manually. I actually trick the color balance by putting a blue thing in there to it and then locking it. It's I keep having to fool my equipment into behaving the way it's supposedly designed to. Uh, but you get what you pay for in computer hardware. So I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed. But we're getting started on Optimus's front grille. We've got quite a bit to do yet because his front grille, I think there's something more happening on his back to sort of lock in that part. We need to do his entire head, both arms, and he's got a couple of accessories. Um, I think he has 4 accessory pieces. So, because it's just like when you get the Transformer toy, it's the Transformer, and then he also comes with little accessories. They gave him little accessories. I love it. Um, I won't. I've looked at them because they're on the box, but I won't spoil them. One of them is an exciting piece that people forget is one of Optimus's core accessories, because it doesn't come up very often. This piece we're working on, in fact, right now is the grill. Back to the Future set just showed up. Oh, I haven't seen the Back to the Future set. Is it? I assume it's a DeLorean. Unless it's the time travel train. Oh, let us know if it's a DeLorean or a time travel train. Oh, weird. We're doing an upside down piece. Large DeLorean. Yeah, that just sprang into my mind just as I was saying it. Time travel train. I have looked up. There is it's a homemade build, but it has full instructions. I don't know how expensive it would be to buy the pieces for it. That would be the limiting factor. But there's a custom build to go with this Optimus that is his trailer, and I really think I want to put together his trailer if I can, because it's not just a trailer; it's Optimus's trailer. So it's got, we're making his headlights. These are his headlights. It's Optimus's trailer, so it has the repair bay thing. Oops, I made a boo-boo. That's not that part. That's that part. Okay. Um, it's got his repair bay in it. The thing itself transforms into the platform that people don't remember Optimus has. It doesn't have his little tiny car that lives inside his trailer, um, which is a little bit disappointing. That's another separate custom build, I guess. The little car that lives in there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not cheap. Which one were you looking up that's not cheap? Mm. Mm. I haven't priced it out, but when I was looking at the build and the instructions, it has a lot of little custom parts, or little like specific parts. So yeah, I can't say I'm surprised. We'll put it down as goals instead of future plans. Oh, what are we building now? Obviously another part of the grill. But what part of the grill? I'm not even sure how this is going to connect. I'm not even clear how this is going to connect to that. Oh, okay. I just saw it. I just figured it out. Um, ooh, ew. That's pretty expensive. That's quite expensive. Ew. Well, long-term goals. We can call it a we can call it a tax deduction. We have one of the things I'm afraid of happening now, and that is a decal. 1,700. Holy heck. That can't be. That sounds like someone is scalping a little bit, gouging a little bit with that price. Okay. Gonna get this decal on here straight in one go. It's the third of 4 decals, and I didn't screw up the first 2, so let's not screw up this one. Got it. Man, these decals make me nervous. Because they're so sticky on the back that you're never going to move it once it's on there. So if it's not on there straight in one go, you're screwed. Oop, that's a weird looking piece. What is... Oh. Interesting. I think we're making his turn signals, is what this I'm building right now is. Because they're little flaps with orange on them. So I can't imagine what else they would be besides his turn signals. Oop, and that goes on the side. I would have to look through and make an inventory of all the parts, because I found a online just video of it being built where they paused and showed off every part as they were building it, so you can get a full inventory of what the parts are. It looked really slick when it was done. It doesn't actually connect to him. It relies on hooking onto his leg part, which is a little bit strange because there's no actual connector on Optimus's build here for a trailer because they didn't design a trailer. Okay, that sure looks like the front of a truck. Oh yeah, and then that just literally connects there and connects there. And damn, that looks so cool. So there he is with his grill attached, and it does in fact fix the torso in place so it doesn't pivot. Very slick. He's already looking more together. He's got abs. This truck has abs. What are we building next? Oh, his exhaust pipes are the next thing. I think that's his upper arm. So probably two of these mirrored. Yeah. Oh, and of course it's his upper arm, because that's where the Autobot logo goes. And see, these aren't decals, these are printed in place. So why couldn't they have printed that one in place and that one in place? And we still have another sticker to go. I'm just, I'm a little grumpy that they are still doing decals. Or I'd rather have gone back to it, because I remember when they didn't do it at all, and it was all on printed. Back in my day, grump, grump, grump. But it looks like we're building his upper arm plates, where the exhaust goes and the logo goes. Especially since we are giving them a bunch of pivoting pieces for posing. I like that they have used either multiple hinges for each part that moves, so that if you get a loose hinge, it's supported by another hinge. Or there are all these ratcheted, like toothed pivots, so that the parts can't just spin freely, so that he's properly posable. Here, I'll, suppose if you they would wear out if you swiveled them around a lot, I'm sure. But just for normal posing, they are quite good. Because while I was building the pirate ship, each of the doors, the side doors on the pirate ship, only has two hinges, and one of my hinge parts was pretty loose, just kind of swung freely, which means one of those doors is much less secure than the other one because there was no backups. In that case, they included a little hinged lock to hold the doors in place. So it wasn't a disaster, but it sure wasn't ideal. And now we're very quickly adding big outer, upside down Autobot logo. Get off of there. Big outer plates here. Flip him upside down and add more. But yeah, I'm only just barely getting into the new era of Lego. So I'm not clear on the prices. I'm not clear. I don't have the collection of new parts to work with. It's fun. But yeah, it's all new to me. Okay. And then a lot of smooth parts on these. Make his outer casing glossy. What is that for? What is that for? Oh, ask, immediately answer. That is where his exhaust attaches. I thought it was going to be a swivel, but it's just a straight post. Click it in. Ugh. Click that together. And then that goes in. Oh, nope, there's another one for structural integrity. And then it clicks together. Nice. And then that goes into the socket on his arm. Nice strong click. And it locks in his head when we get to the point where he's going to have a head. Okay, okay. And then do it again, but the other way. That is, of course, the fun part of doing a set like this where it's all mirrored. Each of these major components has to be done twice because he has 2 arms and 2 legs. Um, a lot of little panels overlapping with each other for, I assume, for just structural strength. Sizan! Thank you for the moisten. Welcome in. Moist. Um, Welcome in. We are, as you can see, Optimusing. I need to just record myself saying moist so that the bot can say it. And then all I have to do is drink. I also need an idea for another emote, because we did unlock an emote slot. And, in theory, I'm very, very close to unlocking follower emotes, which is also something. So I need some ideas. They don't all have to be the little Jupiter guy either. I know Tiny Whisk has to be in there somewhere. It's been overdue that he deserves his own emote. Attach part to part before attach other part to other part. Well, that's what I'm working on with these extra streams. I am very close to automatic approval. Um, so I would like to push myself over the edge for that. And then I don't have to wait for them, because yes, I'm well aware that they drag their heels. My first round of emotes took ages to push through. But I'm quite close to it now. And then when I get my automatic approval, I can just put things into empty slots. And also that is when the follower emotes open up. So then I can also do follower emotes. So I would like, unfortunately, Twitch doesn't actually have a tracker for how close you are to that. They just tell you when you get there. It's kind of annoying. Unless I'm just not seeing the tracker. But from what I can tell, they don't have that being tracked. So I went back and counted. Because they tell you how many you need. They just don't tell you how many you have. So I don't know if, like, a couple times I've had the stream go down and then come back up. That probably doesn't count as 2 for their tracking. Extra little bitty pieces. So that bag, that's step 7. Sorry, bag 7. We're up to step 269. Nice. And that was his abs / grill and his shoulders. Can't forget to eat my brunch. I was thinking of doing a booty emote, because those are very popular. But now Twitch has been aggressively cracking down on anything butt related. Jen! Welcome in. You are just in time. Here, let me show off Optimus. He's facing the wrong way because I just added a part. But look at how far we've gotten on Optimus. We just added his grill slash abs and shoulders. And yeah, rip booty emotes everywhere. Twitch doesn't acknowledge. Yeah. What are we building? What do you think this is going to end up being? I'm guessing, because it doesn't, I can't quite tell. It doesn't look like his head from these parts. Next Fest? Yeah. I was watching. We raided LaFay last night, and the first game she jumped in on, really looked like it was just a Stardew Valley alike. And also, I don't want to call them out for asset theft, but dot dot dot. So yeah, not looking super interesting overall. Although I haven't, yeah, I haven't bought a game on Steam in ages. I buy my games from GOG, and I don't buy a lot of games these days. I tend to buy one and then enjoy it for a long period of time, like I did when I was a kid, instead of buying lots of them. It's been you take the time to enjoy the game to its fullest. Although I still have that Steam backlog back from when I was just scooping things up on Steam sales. Nope, another pivot. This is definitely an arm because we're getting another hinged piece. Manic energy perfume categorizing. What's your favorite category of perfumes? Mine is unscented. not a, not a big fan of perfumes over here. Oop. What is? Oh, there's two of the same. These little guys. This is definitely going to be an. Oh, I wonder if that's his hand. Oh, don't look ahead. Don't look ahead. Don't page ahead. We're going to be surprised by whatever this ends up being. But I'm suspecting that we're about to start adding his hand on the end over here. What have I missed? I've missed a square. Now see, that's a 5 long piece. In a different part of this build, there was a spot where they had a 4 and they put a 1 next to it instead of just doing a 5. They already have 5s in the set. I think they do that just so they can make the part count on the box go a little bit higher, make it just a smidgen more impressive. Sensitive nose. Yeah, I'm a I enjoy nice smells. I don't want them on me. So what I want to smell like is just kind of generally neutral. If you like it on you, don't let me stop you. The arrow. What is the arrow for? No axe in my house. I use unscented soaps even. Well, truly unscented soaps are really hard to find. I use scents like clean or linens, things that are basically nothing. Uh, I've even gone out of my way to select an unscented deodorant. Because if your deodorant has an odor to it, then it's not a deodorant, it's an odorant. That sounds like a nice smell. Um, I personally would probably still avoid it just because, as mentioned, just generally not a fan of the scented things for my own use. Uh, Swivel this around, set it down. Then we're building another little grill. Also, what's white peach? I've seen peaches. I've never seen a white peach. Is that one of those made up things like blue raspberry? Or is it just an underripe peach? Oh, this is definitely going to be his hand. It's dark, dark blue, which is his outer motif. Hmm. I've never encountered them, I think. But thank you. Uh, so very dark blue and small hinged parts that can serve as his fingers. It looks like this version of Optimus does not have 5 fingers, but he has more like a mitten. I think is what we're going to end up with is a little mitten, which makes some sense. I don't know that they could articulate fingers that small without making the whole Optimus much, much larger. Oh, actually, no, I'm wrong. He has individual fingers. Wow. I'm going to have to hold this up because this is small, but he has. Oh, no, he almost has individual fingers. And then they connect them at the end into a mitten. Okay. So he has his thumb and then 3 individual fingers on his little hand here. And then each of those fingers gets one of these sloped bits to give him knuckles, and then you could leave it like that, and he would have a thumb and 3 fingers. But then the build has you add a crosspiece at the bottom of his 3 fingers to make it a mitten. Like, why? You have the 3 fingers. I am disappointed because it's so close to just being he has a properly articulated hand with fingers, and then they take it away. Ugh, I might just take that part off so that he can have fingers. I will build it as instructed first, but I think I might take that part off so he can have his fingers back. Hashtag save Optimus's fingers. Because that's his arm then, and it connects into his shoulder socket. And you can pivot his arm 2 ways. That's part of the transformation. I know that from when I had the actual toy, that his arm fits into this space on the side of his torso here to make a cubic truck cab. Which means you cannot ride inside Optimus Prime. There's no room in his cab for passengers. Because part of his cab is actually his arm. They probably connect the fingers together so that there's no risk of them falling off, because the outer fingers aren't secured by anything else. They're just on the posts. So that's probably the reason. I don't want a finger falling off. But it's a little bit disappointing that he can't have his fingers. Still, very cool. And by the looks of it, they probably intended him to have his fingers when they were designing it, and then at some point decided that it needed to be more secure and added a piece, because it looks like they designed it for 3 fingers. They could have just had one big mitten piece here, but it's 3 articulated fingers that are then connected together. That makes me feel like they built it and tested it, and it was not holding together enough. And yeah, he's got to hold his accessories. Don't spoil his accessories. People forget about one of his accessories. People always forget about the trick he's got up his sleeve. Because he always uses the gun. The gun's not a surprise. He uses the gun all the time. Um, um, and yeah, now we're just making the mirror image because we're making the other arm and hand. is the point of these? It didn't occur to me on the previous one because I thought I was going to put something in it. But these two little spots here have a cross-shaped hole in them lined up this direction. And then there's no axle that goes into those. There's got to be something in a future step then that uses that. Now I'm curious again. What is that for? Maybe he can't actually grip the gun and the other accessory, um, and it's there to give them a support mount. Possible. I actually don't think he has a very strong grip as a Lego. Uh, even even with how much I went on about his articulated fingers. I think that his head is going to appear in here as well because I'm pretty sure these are his ears. Uh, there have been very few entirely like unique to this set custom parts. They've done a good job. But these ears are definitely unique to this set. Well, maybe they're not. Maybe I'm wrong, but they sure look like a custom part for Optimus because they look exactly like his ears. Uh, wow, getting the arms on him really makes him almost all the way there, doesn't it? Let's see, little clippies for the hinged part, and okay, doing this the right way. This sometimes the instructions have you do something in a technically correct way, but it would be easier to do it easier, probably harder to draw to do it backwards. And that step little in the square there is one of them. That should be the first thing that happens, and then the little top pieces. Um, calling you out, Lego. Calling you out. Um, but I will say for my criticisms of his hands, this is still a really well put together, engineered set they've got here. I am much impressed. other hand. Oh, I skipped ahead. I knew it was going to do it before it did it. Uh, this way. And then we attach it to his... Oh, it wants his arms to be straight by his sides while we're building him. Okay. Gosh, except for the fact that he's got no head, he looks just like Optimus. And, like I said, I'm reasonably sure that... Well, okay. Tell me you don't look at this part and know exactly what it is. Oh, yeah, and the little picture in the corner that shows you what you're making is just Optimus's head. So, we've come to it. It's come to this. I can't do an Optimus Prime voice. I'm not that good. This is a little fiddly thing. And it's really having me add one piece at a time, really, for all these little tiny fiddly bits. Oh, and we go from what could that be to, oh, obviously. Man, it's really get that little mouth plate on him and it becomes so instantaneously obvious. Oh, he's got little circles. They're not actually circles. He's got little, so now I want to look up actual Optimus to compare. So these little quarter circle pieces, and it's having me add 3 of them on each side to make 3/4 circles surrounding where his, I assume that's where his ears are going to mount on. These little tiny pieces. Oh, is that, oh my God. It's his eyes. They're on a tiny, tiny piece. I'm glad I didn't have to add the decal to that one. Because I don't think I would have managed it. Because it's not just a... Oh, no, it is just a piece with a print on the side. Oh. Yeah, he's coming together real quick. Um, I knew they did things like that because in the Mario block set, there's a tiny Mario, and they gave him a mustache, and it's on one of these, one tiny little thing, and then it's got a mustache printed on the side edge of it to be Mario. So I knew they did things like that, but I didn't realize that was going to be how they did his eyes for this. Adorable. I'm going to rotate that part because it has a sprue mark on it. We'll rotate it so the sprue mark is hidden. Oh, man. They're going for the detail on this head part. I'll tell you what. Which I suppose they had to. They have to go for broke on something like this because he is such an iconic character and his head is such an iconic head. One of the big complaints I had about the Michael Bay films is that the Transformers didn't look like themselves. They didn't look like the characters that they are. These very, very iconic appearances. Look at him. Look at him. He looks just like himself. Um, then we put his little ear thingies on. Don't put them on sideways because they're very, very stiff. They're actually slightly rubbery and flexible, but the getting them into the little socket where they go is a very tight fit. And then they go on his head with the points angled forward. And that, do this for the camera. There, like so, like so. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. That is Optimus Prime's head. And then it connects right onto his body. He can turn his head, look up a little bit, look down quite a bit. Boy, you're looking like yourself. Ooh, we got one of his accessories. Up next, bag 9. I see an accessory. In fact, looking at the parts in the bag, I see at least 3 accessories. I think we're doing all of his accessories in this bag. See if you can tell what they are before I tell you what they are. If you even know what they are. I suppose not everyone is as familiar with Transformers as I am. especially this era, because this is very much the 80s G1 Optimus. So we start with a gray circle. And then we add 4 of these weird little gray nipples to it. The little dudes. I think you're thinking of Soundwave, who has his because he's a cassette player, his audio cassettes pop out, and it's Ravage and Laserbeak and Rumble. Optimus has a little dude that's part of the trailer, but the trailer is not included in this set. That's a custom build. This is a weird instruction. So I've built this little orange bump with these weird little nipples on it. Those connect to one of these pieces, which is like that. But it wants me to put this frame around it and pin it in place. So that frame is not connected. It is just kind of pinned there. And this is his first accessory. It's done. Do you know what it is? And do you know where it goes? I'll put Optimus on his deathbed, just like he was when this accessory first appeared. Yeah, it's not quite as hexagonal as it's supposed to be, but this is Lego, so everything's a little bit blocky. His chest cavity opens, and the Autobot matrix of leadership goes in his torso. That was in the movie. The most important artifact, well, probably not the most important one. Probably the second most important artifact in all of Transformers is the Matrix of Leadership. It's beat out only by the Allspark, which is the source of life. So, this next accessory is a very strange color. It's purple. And if you don't already know what this is, you won't know what it is as I build it because it's going to stay looking like this the whole time, and then it's going to be done. Still looking just like this. We're essentially just building a little cube of this lovely magenta, transparent magenta. Yeah, well, the movie. It's called The Transformers the Movie. When you say the movie, that's the one you mean. That's just how it is. It's a fundamental property of the English language. Okay, And I'm pretty sure that's done. Yes. This is one of his accessories. Do you know what this is? As you can see by the instructions, you add it to him by putting it here, next to him on the ground. I'll let you mull that one over. Well, we move on to my favorite Optimus accessory that everyone forgets about, which will be very obvious once it's together what it is. It is, in fact, a lot of this bright orange color. This stuff, yeah. Michael Bay didn't bother with these, but they continue to appear in a lot of the animated media. They're a central plot point in the War for Cybertron series, which I just recently watched through and I enjoyed immensely. I thought it was great. It's chemical nose, and no one else is making any guesses. I'm going to say this is a block of energon. This is the stuff that powers the Transformers. It's analogous to food, I guess. It's the thing that makes them go. And they frequently are suffering from shortages of it because the planet Cybertron has been overexploited for a very, very long time. Thank you, Chemical. It's an energon cube. You can find quotes of. I especially love uh, Megatron shouting about energon cubes. Mm. Finish my delicious food over here. This thing, I myself, for a long time, forgot about this thing. But Optimus has had it. Yes. Frank Welker is an absolute treasure. Except he pronounces it treasure because he's also the voice of Fred in Scooby-Doo. And, for that matter, the voice of Scooby. And I don't mean the new one. I mean all of them forever. That iconic Fred voice, that's him. Okay. It should be becoming a little bit more obvious as we go. Set that part aside. I think, yeah, I don't think they give him Megatron anymore. He wasn't Megatron in the War for Cybertron series, although they got a pretty good imitator. He's still actively doing voices. I just don't think he has quite the rasp anymore. I think uh, He overdid it on the really raspy voices. But you you're familiar with his roles even if you didn't know he did them. He was the voice of Apu, the monkey, in Aladdin, for example. Sorry, Abu, not Apu. Apu's from The Simpsons. Um, Often he's uncredited in things, which is a tragedy. One of the most skilled voice actors of the age, for sure. Yeah. See, you didn't know that. I told you wouldn't know that. I told you you'd be surprised. Have you worked out what we're building here yet? I'm not sure why they don't credit him in things. He's often not credited for roles when he's doing a non-human, like very non-human thing where he's not even doing voice lines. Whenever he does an actual vocal performance, he's always credited. It doesn't get much more obvious than this. um, yeah, Chemical would know more about this than me. But yeah, my understanding is that it happens involved with whenever he's doing something like Apu or Abu, where there's no lines. Like it would be written in the script as monkey makes screeching noises, something like that. This is indeed an axe. This is Optimus Prime's energy axe, which he uses very infrequently, but appeared as early as the very first ever episode of Transformers and was obviously designed to be an accessory for the toy, and then they stopped using it. Um, and it, oh, and according to the instructions, you put it on him like this. You take his hand off, swivel the post for his hand down, and then the axe goes into that mysterious opening that I mentioned. Because when he uses his axe in the cartoon, his hand retracts into his arm, and then the axe pops out. So he doesn't hold it. He swaps his hand for it. which is probably why they don't have him use it very often. Extra animation. And also he can't drop it because it's an energy axe that comes out of his arm. People also forget that Megatron in the same episode had a energy ball and chain flail that he fought Optimus with. So they each had one because they wanted to give these things accessories because they were designed to sell toys. First and foremost, they were designed to sell toys. And look, they're still doing it. We have one more accessory coming up, and that is quite obviously his gun. I see his axe show up every once in a while. They've over time, Optimus has become so iconic and less overtly violent. He's the good guy. Um, so I think having a axe built into his arm like that kind of fell out of fashion. Um, and also, most of his enemies that he needs to fight have long-ranged weapons. They seldom get into prolonged melee fights um, with Optimus. So it doesn't come up a lot. Although he didn't use it in the movie when he was in a fist fight with Megatron. So that was a missed opportunity. But also, spoilers, he died in that fight. So maybe he should have. Um, oh, speaking of missed opportunity, I missed a part because I was too chatty. As for his gun, it seems to appear when the scene cuts. Sometimes it's clipped onto one of his legs, but more often it's not, and then he draws it from nowhere when he needs it. Uh, so I suppose your guess is as good as mine on where the gun goes. It's going to be in his other hand when we're done here. Precisely, exactly, precisely, exactly. Oh, and now we're just building a long, straight gun. Right onto the axle piece that we've put here. I think he's going to hold this one in his hand, though, because because this is going to be the front of the gun, so the axle's not going to extend out where it can connect to the arm part. So I think this one actually goes in his hand, which makes sense because it's part of his hand. Or not part of his hand. The opposite of part of his hand. Not part of his hand. Um, oh, a little circle. fascinating going over how they build such a thing. Oh, weird. So again, his gun has looked the same or very close to the same in most of its appearances. So they have to very closely match it. It's fascinating seeing how much effort and all these little parts they've cobbled together to make his gun look like his gun. Um, and that's just a loose part? Huh. Fascinating. One of these little weird nipple parts again, which I'd never seen in any Lego set before today, and now I've used them twice because I guess they're integral to weird little parts like this. It looks like we're making the like ammo barrel part. And this goes in, specifically says, and it highlights it, and I drop it and I knock stuff around. Third hole, or second hole, middle hole. Not third hole. Third hole is the third hole. Middle hole. Also middle hole. Get on there. Oh, and then we're going to real quickly finish it off. Loose part that just slides on. 3 of these barrel parts that also just slide on. In the other direction. One that goes on facing front, and one little nub to secure the whole stack. And that's Optimus Prime's gun. I don't know what else to call these little parts. These little guys, they're not your standard little 1x1 pip. They've got a weird little, like, nipple on top. Okay, so the gun, it actually shows me on the instructions how he holds the gun, because the hand doesn't actually grip the gun. It wants me to put it on the same arm as the axe, so I'm going to take the axe off. Put his hand back on. So the gun barrel, you swivel his thumb down. The gun barrel slides into his hand, and then the back of the gun attaches to his arm, and then you fold his fingers over the hand grip. Oh my God. And there you go. and his body is heavy enough that he can extend his arm without overbalancing, even with the gun. Let's take the gun away and return his hand to a neutral hand position. I notice you can't see, you guys cannot see it. It is too small. But inside the windows, because after I did the axe, the next time we got back to the shot, the axe was gone. Same thing with the energon cube, same thing with the gun, I'm assuming. And that also happened with the matrix. Even though it had us put it in his chest cavity, it is not depicted inside his chest cavity in the picture. It is clearly identified as an accessory, not part. Oh, these are extras. And these down here are extras, and that was all of the accessories in one bag. We have one bag left. It has quite a few parts in it. It looks like a major component. Oh, yeah, that's one. That was part of that. I assume it's going to be his back, the last part on the back. Yeah, take breaks. Speaking of, finish my omelet here. And thank you for the moisten. Moist. Okay. Okay. Gonna put his accessories to the side and turn the page to bag 10, the final bag. I'm not 100% sure what all is going to be in here. I think I know what this is. I think I know what this is, and I think this is the giveaway. I thought this was going to take a little bit longer because the first half took us a solid 4 hours. The second half looks like it's going to take us noticeably less than that. But it's the final bag down. Oop, there's little hidden dots. I'm pretty sure this is Optimus Prime jetpack. Yeah. He doesn't have it in G1, but he does fly in the G1. usually with foot rockets. They probably wanted to give him another accessory. And also, there's kind of a big... He's facing you right now, but there's kind of a big empty space here on the back when he's in robot mode. So they no doubt want something to occupy that big space. Optimus butt. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, I haven't invited Buttspot. I should probably do that. I didn't want to invite chatbots until I had enough chat to warrant them. I had a problem when I was testing out the pretzel music, and it wants to put a bot in there, and it's posting in chat every couple of minutes, every time it plays a new song. And if you don't have a lot of chat, it really quickly fills up the chat with just chatbot notifications. And I would worry Buttspot would do something similar. I would like to invite Buttspot, but I'm waiting at the moment. I would also like to invite Shelly's bedbot and have them both at the same time, and if we're lucky, they can riff off each other. I feel like there's more parts here than are accounted for by just the jetpack. I don't think she has. I don't think she has, and that's another thing. I feel like it would be popular if she did. It's more Twitch friendly than Buttspot because Twitch hates butts. They have banned Buttspot in the past on account of butts. They've actually never said why they banned Buttspot. Buttspot always has thus far always bounced back, but he's been banned a few times, which isn't a good sign. I mean, he's just a chatbot, and it lets you know what you have to invite it to your channel, and it lets you know exactly what it's going to do before you do. So the bans seem petty to me. Maybe I'm too forgiving. Maybe butts are the devil's work. If you want to be Buttspot, don't let me stop you. But no one can capture it quite as well as Buttspot can with those just awkward mashing together of words. This is an interesting thing I've got going on so far. I haven't been commenting on the build, but these little trapezoid pieces, they're linking them together into like long, elongated rhombuses. Rhombi, rhombini. I have occasionally felt called out by Botspot, but it is just kind of random. Um, I always wait for the time when Butspot will be a real person. Ever since Pup Time was a real person the one time in Sal's chat, and Pup Time just started talking. It was magical. It was so magical. Uh, I'm still not really commenting on the build here. We're just kind of building. It's coming together as kind of like a big block. Yeah, exactly. We're making a brick out of bricks with a hole in the middle. The hole is probably there so that it has room for the transforming part of his head. We're gonna have to transform this guy. Oh, and then the big red square goes on. Oh, and then more big panel. Yeah, all the big panels go on all of a sudden. His Autobot, his third Autobot logo. He's very, very proud. I think I'm going to call it today. Oh, we'll But Optimus is very proud of his group affiliation. He has his logo tattooed on his body in 3 places. Boy, since this isn't taking incredibly long, I might go out and enjoy the nice weather after this. Blue sky, bright sun, and it's almost 40 degrees. Bizarre weather for February. The Earth is dying. I'm gonna put on some shorts and go outside and enjoy these 40s. I mean, it's no jacket weather. It's non-jacket weather at the moment. 70. You must be in a southerly area or a middle area. I guess I don't know where you are. So I'm gonna take a wild stab and guess Guam. Oop, okay. I like these little vented slopes. They're nice. There's a couple others on him. Where were they? Not. Can't remember where they are. Where they were now. Were they on his feet? I think they were on his feet. No, Guam is in the Pacific. I don't actually think Jen is from Guam. I'm not sure where the other little vented parts went. Um, Also, don't dox people. If you do know where someone is from, don't spread it around. And only reveal your own location if you are 100% comfortable with doing so. Um, pretty basic interneting. So I'm just joking around. Making some weird decisions here. There are flat pieces going over the top of other flat pieces, and then getting connected to each other by still other flat pieces. Because they really want this jetpack to be very, very smooth, except for the few spots where it's deliberately not smooth, like these little ridged blocks that are going on the tops. You know, it just occurred to me while I'm building and thinking here. The vehicle form is supposed to be a disguise, right? They're called robots in disguise. But Optimus has his Autobot logos clearly visible on him in multiple locations when he's in truck form, which makes his disguise a very bad one. I wonder which truck could be Optimus in disguise. Oh, and these go. Oh. That's a strange decision to build this whole thing and then have these sort of click into it awkwardly way at the end. I suppose they are having us build up the back. Oh, and here come the jets. Which turned this pack from a pack into a jet pack. This build has had more ball and socket things than I've ever seen in a Lego, ever. Oh, and then that goes right. Oh, and okay. What's the other decal? Okay. I guess I'm going to follow directions. I'm confused by this next step. Yes, in my vast experience. Exactly. So that is in fact the part that encloses his back. And makes him look like a complete robot. And then we move on from this complete robot to another little thing. I was right that this piece doesn't look like it went with the jetpack, because it super doesn't. What is this for? Hold on. Backing up. Oh. Good thing I asked what that was for. That's a structural component here that keeps those clips from sliding out. Ugh, lining these up is not the easiest thing. Okay. Flip that. This gets a decal. It gets this large decal. Which we have to, once again, very carefully do correctly on the first try. It is a display sign for your collectible Optimus Prime model. And then the part that confuses me, for there is one more part, and it is a decal. This last gray piece receives this last decal and then sits in front of him on the table next to all of his accessories. There's the Matrix. I took it out of him and put it next to him. So we're not done with the stress yet. We're doing one more decal. I hate these. Especially since I'm not even sure what this is. It's obviously part of him. It's probably holds him, yeah, holds him together when he's in his transformed state. I got it. Oh. From robot mode to vehicle mode. Transform. It gives me instructions for transforming him. So, we will now transform the boy. First, let me show him off. Let me show him off properly. Because look, he's complete. It's Optimus Prime, Autobot leader. So, I think I know how to transform him, but let's follow the directions just to be 100% sure. Step 1. The jetpack comes off. Which makes sense. It's more of an accessory. Make sure his legs are clicked together. They're still clicked together from construction, but when you're posing him, his legs... Here, I was actually testing out his posing options earlier, so I'll do that real quick. If you bend his arms out of the way and unclip his legs, his feet swivel, and so do his knees. So you can give him a dynamic pose. So he is he's a posable figure. When he's here, let me if you want him to lean back at all, you've got to make sure to click both of his legs out at least one notch because his hip joint gets in the way. But then you can swivel him up one. You can also look slightly up at you. I think he'll overbalance if I go much farther than that. And ideally, I think he's supposed to have one hip level. But we're transforming him. So take his, oh, crap's sake. Take his gun out of his hand. And make sure his legs are clicked together because they actually connect in the middle. Arms at 90-degree angles. Hands pivoted to be in line with the arrows. Thumbs up, not down. Flip up his abs. Twist his whole body around. I'm going to swivel it this way so we see it side on as I'm doing it. Swivel his whole upper torso around. Turn his head backwards. Bend him at the hips 90 degrees. He can still stand at this point, which is impressive. Bring him down onto his wheels. Try to do this sideways so we both have a good view of him. Flip the little elbow grills out. And pivot his arms. Right. Swivel his elbows up to pivot his arms back. Swivel his shoulders up to pivot his arms back. Oh, before you do that, flip his head. Flip his head. Then enclose the back. Something seems off. Oh, because I need to rotate his elbows forward. This part has to be completely opened up. Oh, I can't see that side. Elbows forward. Hands oh, okay. That bit's neat. I'm going to swivel him up so I can see what's going on. But his hands pivot into his undercarriage, and then the front grille connects. And his little ladders come down. Flip his feet under so his taillights are sticking out. Oop. I broke a piece off. Well, I didn't break a piece off. I disconnected a piece. Being aggressive with his feet earlier. So his taillights are out. Take his gun. Flip the handhold down, and it slots in. Does it actually connect? No, it just kind of rests in there. His gun slots in there though, and that's the mounting for the trailer hitch right there. His head is right there, right in the middle of his lower back. Oh, and then that's a little odd. This part is supposed to be taken off and replaced with this part in truck mode. That seems a little awkward. Does the axe go anywhere? I guess the gun is supposed to click on somehow, because it tells me to put it... First of all, he rolls. He's a functioning toy truck. Oh, it does click into place. Oh man, the gun actually clicks into place and becomes the trailer hitch, so you could hitch a trailer to him. So he was designed with a functioning trailer hitch, and then they just didn't make a trailer for him? That's almost like they asked people to make the custom part, and then a list of all the parts that are in the set. And that's it. That's it. Autobots, roll out. He has a little bit of a wobble to him, but that is him. That is Optimus Prime in truck mode. This is a very cool set. He's a posable figure, a functional toy truck, and he transforms. He does all the things that the original toy did, plus he's made of Legos. He even comes with this little display case. The only thing that is a little bit awkward is that his jetpack has no place on the truck part. You could probably attach it here, though. Yeah. You can attach it right there, and it actually stays on. And then I bet you could put his Energon up here somewhere, too. I gotta say, including an Energon cube as an accessory, it's neat, but it seems a little cheeky because he can't hold it. It doesn't attach to him anywhere. It's just kind of sits next to him. And also, I'm not sure how to attach the axe to him. Yeah, let's untransform him. Do it back the other way. So that pops off easily. I almost feel like that was intended for that to be able to just click very easily onto the back there, even though it's not depicted doing that. Let's get the box out. The box. So, oh, where? The box, the front box. There he is, doing his dynamic pose, holding his gun. And there he is on the back, transforming and transforming back with his accessories of... I do notice that in the transformation here, he's got the truck plate on the front, and then he also has it in his robot mode. Whereas on the front, they have swapped it out. And on the back, the swap out is included as one of the accessories, along with the other accessories. He is 13.5 inches tall. Let's transform him back. So the jetpack pops off. The gun pops off. Pretty cleanly, too. I thought it might not be a clean break, but it comes off very cleanly. Set the gun aside. Set the jetpack aside. Swivel his feet up into position. Open his front panel. Swivel his hands out. Flip up his elbow guards. Swivel out his elbow. And then swivel out his shoulders. Head comes up. Head swivels forward. Here's the fun part. I had this exact, oh, you can't even see it. You couldn't even see it. We're going back. I forgot that I had popped the screen up. We're going back. Oh, you guys gotta say something when I'm making a fool of myself. Bop. 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 Okay. From where we were. Transforming back. Jetpack off. Gun off. Feet into foot position. Front panel detach. Fold up. Hands swivel forward. You can't even see the hands. The hands swivel forward. They're under there. Trust me. Flip up his little thingies. Swivel out his elbows. Swivel out his shoulders. So I was saying, I had this toy, the exact toy this is based on, and this transforms in exactly the same way that that did, except for the front grille flap. But this is literally the same way the original toy transformed. The arms swiveled back and the shoulders swiveled back to enclose the head. The forearms slotted into these side grooves. Bring his head up, face him forward. Get him on his feet. There you go. Torso up. Swivel him around. We're going to face him towards you. straighten out his arms. His chest panel is catching on itself. Fold those ones forward so that we can, no, fold those ones back. I had a good mix of them so they could fight each other. What's happening here? I'm missing something. That folds down, but why isn't it reaching the hinge point? What have I done? Because that clips onto that. The bottom of this clips onto here so that it doesn't slide around. Are his hips not up far enough? No, that's not it. What did I do? What have I done? Do I take this off? Does it have to come off the trend? That doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't even expand the range of motion. The heck? It's because these red panels are colliding with his upper body. But oh, okay, I got it. You have to fold the red panels all the way back to the sides to lock them in. I got it. I got it. Don't worry, guys. I figured it out. Okay. Just being dumb. Uh, get his thumbs out of the way. Fold his elbows under. Cock one leg out. Oh, and this is what I kept having a hard time swiveling his knees. His fuel tanks are supposed to swivel to this direction when he's standing, so that he can freely swivel at the knee. Because if you don't do that, when you swivel at the knee, it pushes the fuel tank off. And then you get this little sign in his jetpack. His jetpack. Okay. He's kind of looking straight forward, not up at you guys, because you're above him. But there he is. There's the lad. There's the boy with his accessories and his accessories. This was a really fun build. And one little awkward piece that's supposed to be a swap out. He's quite a bit larger than the toy he's based on. The actual toy was only up to about his bottom of his shoulders here. So he's a good 25% larger than the toy he's mimicking. So he's I was noticing as I was yes, a lot smaller than actuals and in real life. He wouldn't fit in this room if he was life size. While I was transforming him, I noticed he does transform quite well, but he's a little. His joints are stiff for posing, and some of the connections are a little bit wobbly. He's not. He's a posable figure. He's not a play figure, really. So he's cool, but he's definitely intended for me, who's building him out of nostalgia for Transformers and a nostalgia for Legos, rather than a child who would want to play with a Transformer robot. Which is how he was marketed, so fair enough. I can see my color balance going weird when I reach over here. Also, he's a little bit washed. He's a little bit washed out in the camera. His red is very much a pure red. He's just a tiny bit washed out because of the camera. Let's get him in his place of honor, though. He can accost the pirates. His legs are very stable, very secure, which is good because he's supposed to be a standing posed figure. Optimus Prime. Energon Cube. And his rifle. Pistol. And his axe. Which I want. His hands swivel out of the way. Yeah, his hand swivels out of the way. So you can, in fact, mount the axe in the right spot without taking his hand off. Oh, I did that so far away and I was standing in front of the camera. So they say take the hand off, but since his wrist swivels, you can just swivel his hand down and lock the axe in without taking the hand off, which is better for not losing pieces. This way, the only loose accessory is the Energon Cube that has no attachment points. I love it. I actually love it. I'm going to look at it and enjoy it. I'm gonna fill this shelf with goodies. At the moment, the shelf has some rice and some empty jars, and on the shelf you can't see just below here a roll of duct tape and a towel. But this is supposed to be a shelf of fun stuff. Okay, well, I wasn't sure how long it was going to take, and it ended up taking less time for the second half of Optimus than the first half, which I probably could have done them in one go, honestly. It looks like it took us about 6 hours in total. Maybe 6.5, 7, I'm not sure, in total to do him. So I could have done him in one sitting if I just committed to doing a Lego show in one sitting. I will keep that in mind for future sets. We may do more of this, but if we do another one at this point, the next set I'm going to do is going to have to be out of the bins of unsorted. Well, they're sorted by color only, so it will be a lot more work digging out the parts I need. And they're all fairly old sets by comparison. They're around the age of the pirate ship, except the pirate ship had all of its parts in the box. These are all jumbled together, and I may have lost some of them over the years. Who knows? So some of the sets may be actually impossible to complete. So, because I don't really have a budgeted out to be buying more fancy ones at this stage. But thank you for joining me today. This was fun. Oh, we're just about to play an ad. I don't know that that's going to matter for everyone. But let's see who's on. Our friend from last week, who was doing Legos, is not currently doing Lego. Is not on right now, so I'm gonna go. We're gonna raid someone I haven't done before. There's not none of my usual suspects are on right now. So let's go say hi to Frazwar. Frazwar plays mostly retro games. I think he's in England. He sounds like he's in England. At least. He's playing something right now called. I'm not sure. His category is just retro. So I guess we're going to go say hi to Fraz. Well, we'll keep them in mind for next time, I guess. But thanks for hanging out. I wanted to try doing one tomorrow again as well, but I'm not sure what I would do. It may be another adventure in the kitchen, or I could spend the rest of today back here getting my capture card all sorted out. We could do actual gaming on this gaming streaming platform. Here comes the countdown. I'm just going to say goodbye. Watch me for go live, and thanks for hanging out. Catch you next time.